So I want to talk to you a little bit about math conversions here. And I'll demonstrate how to do it with the decimal degrees into degrees, minutes, seconds. But there's two things that are running through my head and are probably running through yours. I'm a big fan of saying two things as like declarative statements. Brah and God. I really like those two. So now I'm thinking, God, why we have to do these conversions, right? I could just plug it in, and what's the difference between one and the other? Geographic coordinates, latitude and longitude, right? I can see it, right? And you get through the lab because you got to get through the lab because you're taking this class, and a few of you might really get into it. But what's the deal with conversions? Why do we even care, right? Well, this is the quantitative literacy thing. What I'm going to explain later on in the course is we use math as a way of thinking, a way of problem solving, a way of taking a very complex world and breaking it down finally into these categories that help us think through our problems and solve them and live better lives. Seems a little abstract, but it's just like a different tool, right? I like to think of everything as tools. I don't commit myself to one style as in the cheesy martial arts I've been watching a lot of martial arts movie, but it's like this idea, don't commit yourself to one style, right? And strategically, I want to talk about it a little bit, but if you're sparring, if you're fighting, I have a black belt in Taekwondo, I do Muay Thai. It's like you got to switch it up on your opponent. You got to get them to think that you're doing one thing and then doing another. And that's the thing with math. Like, you're the one that's losing out when you're like math phobic and you don't like it. Why do I have to do this? It is an asset to be able to think like that. Maybe you go through it and you say, I don't like this math stuff. I don't like where it's pushing at me in my life. But you have to go through it. You have to put yourself through it. Okay. So these right here are something you should be familiar with. The equal sign, greater than, less than, right? Eats the bigger number. These are the simple concepts that help us understand things. One of the things I've been getting into the stock market and stuff lately, and it's not so crazy to understand what's going on. There's these indicators, and you use basic math principles and thinking, quantitative thinking, to understand what's going on and make an informed decision about what's going in the market so you can make dough and you can be secure later in life. Okay. So these, equivalence, right? We talk about conversion. Two things are equal. We do this all the time. We take something that we've already learned, some system of thinking or way of being, and then we try to describe it and we try to bring it to something new. This is a big way on how we learn as human beings. So that's what I want you to think about when we talk about equivalence. It's not just like this math and these, because I know you don't probably like doing it, but think about it as these kind of metaphors, right? Or these ways of thinking to describe the way the world works. The way things are, we can empirically observe them, and they have different kinds of relationships. And some of them are quantitative in nature, right? We think, and then, like I said, greater than, less than, more or less, equal, right? These things help us understand, and with equivalence, I like that idea, thinking of metaphors. In yoga, we do it all the time. I'm a certified yoga instructor. And what we do, we're like, okay, let's see. I want you to move your body in a particular way. Try to describe someone when they're sitting to move their body in a way so they can stand up. Try it. It's really hard. So when I'm doing yoga instruction, I say, you want to lengthen. You want to twist. Right? You take things that already people know and you try to make an equivalence with them. Okay? It's an important skill in communication, something that y'all all need a little bit more, a lot of bit more, greater than. Okay. And in martial arts as well, it took me a long time because I have my hips aren't that great, meaning they're not very flexible. My flexors aren't very flexible, so it's something I like to work on a lot. And it took me a long time to understand how to throw a proper roundhouse kick in Muay Thai where you use your shin as a baseball bat, and nothing worked for me. And finally, when there was an equivalence, something my brain understood, then I could understand how to throw the kick and move my body in a particular way. So think about when you're in a new job or you're in a challenging class. We're always looking for equivalence. This is a really important concept. We talk about equality in terms of social struggle. Right? What is equality and how do we get there and what does it mean for us, right? So this idea of equivalence is something that we're always using and throwing around, but we have to convert. We have to go from one form to another. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do right now in this week. It ain't just about geography. It's about a way of thinking, a way of problem solving, a mindset. So that's the mindset I want you to get in.